All right, so before we jump into actually how to make a Facebook ad, I think it's really important to understand the marketing mindset and to really understand how people buy and why people buy. And so people don't buy products or services. It's important to understand that people buy outcomes. They buy access to the after state. And so every great offer will genuinely move a customer to a desired after state. And really great marketing simply articulates the move from the before state to the desired after state. And so here you can see in this picture, there's the before state, and typically in the before state, someone is unhappy in some kind of way. And then in the after state, they are happy, they've achieved what they've wanted to. And so business is pretty simple. We get paid to move people from a before state to a desired after state. And in the before state, the customer is discontent in some way. They might be in pain, bored, frightened, or unhappy for any number of reasons. And in the after state, life is better. They are free from pain, they're entertained or unafraid of what previously plagued them. And so when you understand that your product or service is actually moving someone from a before state to an after state, and you're able to hone in on what that problem is that you solve for them, then you'll find that you are able to write better copy, create better ads that are really speaking to your audience in a way that captures their emotion. So always sell the after, not the features. And I'm going to go into an example. This is a baby bathtub. And if I were to be trying to sell this bathtub, could I talk about the features? I probably could. It's so many inches deep, it's made of BPA-free plastic, and it's got this little carrying thing and non-stick grip, all these different things I could talk about, which, are features of the product, and those are great. But if I was looking at who I'm going to sell this product to, then I think of what their after is that they're going for, I could probably sell this much better. And so for a baby bathtub, the person that I'm selling to would obviously be parents. And so when trying to map out that after, what we use is the 8-question before and after grid. And so I'll put in the course section, you'll be able to find this attachment worksheet that you can print off and fill out. But essentially the way that the before and after grid works is that in that before state, there's 4 different things that people have. And so, or different states that can change. And so it's what they have, so they can have something before and something after, how they feel before and after, what is their average day like before your product or service and after, and does their status change in any way before and after they have your product or service. And so going through and thinking about a parent that needs a baby bathtub, well, let's think about if you've ever given a baby a bath, then you know that it is difficult and they're slippery and it's stressful. And so if I were to play in the mind of a mother, say, they know that they have to give their baby a bath. It's super stressful. The baby cries all the time, every time they're given a bath, and it's just no fun for anyone. Well, if I were to look at how I can move them from the before to after state with my bathtub, then I would have to look at these different components. So what would the parent have before? Well, they would have maybe a cold, hard tub. And then what would they have after they have my product, this baby bathtub? Well, they would maybe have a warm, squishy tub. And then what do they feel before? Well, if you're a new parent and you're trying to bathe your baby, you could feel scared and frustrated, especially if the baby's crying and it's a stressful situation. But after they have our bathtub, they feel confident and in control. their average day before having our baby bathtub is bath time is terrible. And afterwards, bath time is a breeze. Once you have our bathtub, it's a breeze. And then a status before could be that they feel unappreciated, or maybe they don't feel like a good parent, they feel like a failure. And then their status after that is that they're a super mom. So when you compare just talking about features, this is a bathtub so many inches deep with hard BPA plastic and a non-grip thing, or if you really speak to the after state that you're going to give the parent, you'll find that using the before and after grid is a great way to be able to eloquently say what you're wanting to say. So using this before and after grid, if I were to just put together quickly some copy for it, it could be, are you feeling scared and frustrated at bath time? Do you feel unappreciated and you just dread having to do bath time with your baby? Well, with our tub, not only will you have a warm, squishy tub, but you'll feel confident in control. Bath time will be a breeze and you'll feel like a super mom. So you can see how really encapsulating that after is a great way to speak to the emotions of your target audience. And so I'm just going to say again, make sure to sell the after, not the features, because businesses don't really have traffic problems. A lot of times it's really about a business having an offer problem, because there's a million ways to drive traffic to your offer. You can do any type of paid online traffic, you can do radios, TV commercials, there's a ton of way to be able to drive traffic to your offer. But if it doesn't speak to your target market and properly depict their desired after state, you will lose out on sales because you're not capturing them with the emotion that's really going to drive them to make that purchase. All right, so in the next video, we're going to look at how to define your target market and find them on social media. I'll see you there.